How's it going, guys? Nordy back, bringing you some more StarCraft2 matches here. We were on the European server again for this match. Just doing my usual warm-ups, and I managed to have a pretty interesting match. Involved some BM at the end, so don't mind that. But it's a pretty interesting match. It's between myself and Torahai here. It's a PvP on Odyssey LE. Let's get into that. Torahai here was a plat player. I believe he was plat 1, if I remember correctly. Alright. Make sure I'm at my position. Alright. So, PvP, I mean, as usual, I just like to open up with the double gate expand. Basically, that just means you put a pylon down at 14, you put a gateway down at 15, and send that probe that built the gate over to scout the enemy to see what he's doing. And throw gas down at 17, then another gas, and another gateway. So just a basic double gate expand. It's a pretty safe build against all Protoss players. Helps keep you safe from any sort of all-in build that you might be doing or might have planned. See there, I got my gate down, got my gas going up, sending my probe over to scout. Throwing down the other gas there. See what he's up to. Looks like not really too sure. Might be doing a fairly similar build. See there, I got my second gate going up. Gas is done, so I'm going to immediately transfer three probes into that. Continue to build probes out of my nexus there. As soon as this gateway is done, then I'm going to throw down the cyber core. Looks like he was going for a double gate expand too, but he's just a little bit late on everything. Got my cyber core going up, my probes coming up here to scout. I managed to see that he hasn't taken his gas yet, so I say, you know, it's screw it. I'm gonna be a dick and I'm gonna steal his gas, because stealing your opponent's gas if he's a Protoss player really hurts him, since a lot of the Protoss units are pretty gas based. So stealing gas really hurts your opponent. So if you get the opportunity to, definitely think about stealing that gas there. And I just leave my probe down here just to see when he expands. When you get the double gates up, you can do one of two things. You can either go for a double adept play, or you can go for double stalkers. I like to go for stalkers just because they're a good defensive unit, I think, and you can attack them as well. Usually what I'll do is I'll send the two stalkers across the map just to poke around, see what I can do. When I have those two stalkers over there, if I realize that I'm able to get a lot of damage done, then I'll just continue the pressure. I'll just keep throwing stalkers at them usually. So that's how I usually do it. But you can do adepts too. If you did adepts, you just, you know, do the ping pong shade back and forth between the main and the net. It's also a pretty good build. I just usually don't ever go for it. I like the double stalker play. So I'm scouting around again. I'm seeing what he's got going on. He's got the I see he's got the expansion built, so I'm just gonna bring my probe out. Got my stalkers running across the map here. Building two more out of the gate, or out of the gates as well before I expand. Chronoing out my my warp gate. I notice here that he's got two adepts attacking my my gas there, so I decide I'm going to lay the pressure on him, since he went for the adept build instead of the two stalkers. So I'm going to throw a pylon down there to reinforce at the front. At the same time, I'm just going to come in here and poke around with these adepts, see what I can do. He says LOL. The start of the BM. He's going to BM me a lot throughout this match. There, I'd just say question mark. I'm going to try to take down this pylon. Managed to get it, and then I'm going to attack these adepts here. I got more stalkers coming across the map, because again, I saw he went for the adept play, so I figured that I'll be able to put some pretty good pressure on him here. In the back, I'm building up more gateways here to get that gateway count going. Warp gate's almost done, so I'll be able to reinforce. I'm going to try to take down this mothership core here. Running up the ramp. Managed to pick off the mothership core there, so that's a pretty big win for me. I'm trying to take that on this pylon to cut off its production. Got another stalker coming across the map. Warp gate's done, so I'm starting to turn these into warp gates. Just working on taking out his forces. I'm going to focus down the Stalker since they do the most damage against my army comp here. Got an Adept, so I'm going to try to focus that down as well. Back, I'm warping in Stalkers. It's kind of a slow warping. I don't have a warp gate there, but it'll do the trick. He's warping in Zealots. I'm going to try to do some Star Step Micro, but I figure, you know, it's screwed. I'm just gonna give up on that Stalker there. Bring these 2 Stalkers in. I'm going to try to take down this pylon. He built a cannon there, so I figure my push has run its course. So I just say, you know, it's screwed. I'm not going to continue attacking. I'm just going to back off, get my second up, continue the pressure later. The back, I'm warping in a bunch of gateways here. Got some more Stalkers coming up. Still got my overcharge on this. I should have transferred the overcharge back over to my Nexus, but that's okay. See here, I got my second going up. Got my gateways going out. In that process, he didn't build like any probes, so we actually have an even probe count, even though he has a base lead on. So managed to work out there for me. He must have been panicking while while I was attacking him there. You see, he's floating up just a bunch of minerals, so he doesn't know what to do right now. He doesn't spot my my pylon down there yet. I probably should have built the gateway here, but I never did. Gateways are coming out. They're getting done, so I'm going to transfer those into to warp prisms. Continue to warp in Stalkers because I'm planning to push him again as soon as possible before he gets anything crazy out on him. See here, he's just flowing a bunch of minerals. I don't know what he's doing. He must be panicking at the moment. He doesn't know what to do. Second's done, so I'm going to start building a bunch of probes. Let's see here. Honestly, we still have pretty much the same probe count, so I have no idea what he's doing. Interesting. He's getting air weapons and +1 air weapons and +1 ground weapons, so he must be trying to, he's going to try to go for like a Void Raid play or something like that. But you can see here I'm pushing across the map. I got a bunch of Stalkers and I got a couple sentries for Guardian Shield. Continue to make probes whenever I can. Whenever I remember. Warping in some Stalkers at the front here just to meet my army when it gets there. I'm going to push him here. Kind of pull a little too far forward there, and I show him that I'm attacking before I really wanted to. That's okay. That's no big deal. He's come in. He's just got a bunch of slow Zealots, so I'll be able to take those out pretty handily. I'm going to start taking out this cannon here. He photon overcharges both the pylons, so I just back off. I don't want to attack into any photon overcharges. We continue to warp in Stalkers whenever I can here. See here. Still have a pretty even probe count, even though he had just a tremendous base lead on me. He should have way more probes than he does right now. Here I mess up the micro here. I'm trying to attack his mothership core, but my Stalker's in the back here just walking around doing nothing, so that was a terrible engagement by me, so I just back off. It's my reinforcing Stalkers here. Trying to take out these Zealots. I realize he's taking me out, so I just back off. I got 4 more warping in the back here, so continue the pressure here once those are done. Push back in again. I'm going to try to take down this mothership core before he can get another photon overcharge out on me. And I'm just going to engage these Stalkers. He pulls back. Got more Stalkers warping in the rear. Brings up his Stalkers, but I'm just going to take them out here real quick. Continue to warp in whenever I can. Continue to poke in and put pressure on him, since I see that he doesn't have too much production going on. If he had just a bunch more Stalkers, which honestly he should either have a bunch more probes or he should have a bunch more Stalkers, because I mean we're actually I have a probe lead on him now, so I have no idea what he was doing. But yeah, he should either have just a bunch more probes than me or he should have way more production. Like I have no idea what he's doing. But I'm just going to continue to poke in here. I'm going to take down these pylons, try to depower all of his production here. He got an Immortal out, so I'm going to back off real quick. Then I realize that's the only unit that he's got. I'm going to take down this cannon real quick before he can get a pylon out to power it. Then I'm going to focus down that Immortal before he can do anything to me. He's trying to get some pylons up to repower all the structures here. He pulls his probes, but he kind of messes up the micro a little bit there, and I just slaughter all of his probes. So he got power back up, but I'm just gonna take down the pylon again. Not too big a deal. I'm gonna take down the Robo Bay or the Robo facility there to cease his stalker or his immortal production. I got a robotics facility for coming up myself because I realized that if he has one DT, it'll totally ruin my day. And just like I thought, he's building a DT shrine. Honestly, he probably should have built that way earlier. Had he had that DT shrine like coming up as I first pushed in, I would have been screwed. There would have been nothing I would do against it. I would have been forced to back off. So he should have built that way earlier. Power down all of his buildings here. He's got no more production. Hasn't powered those back up. Pretty much over at this point. I mean, I'm down to 10 probes. Here comes the BM, the Flame, calling me a noob one base. Little does he know, I actually have 2. I actually had more probes than he did throughout the vast majority of that. So I don't know what his deal was there. So I BM him back a little bit. Just taking down his Nexus up here so he can't build any more probes on me. Continuing the BM. He got charged for Zealots, which is nice, but here I'm typing something to him, that's why I'm not trying to micro out of this right now. You see there, I said keep thinking that, it'll definitely make you better. Never just think somebody's a noob. Like, even if they cheese you, and, you know, obviously it's kind of a newbie thing to do. To be perfectly honest with you, even if they cheesed you, like, even if I did do a one-base play, like a legit one-base play, and I cheesed him, honestly, he should have scattered it, and he should have been able to defend. Like, it's really not that hard to defend cheeses, so even if they do like a newbie cheese build on you, you shouldn't think that they're noob, because really you're the noob because you weren't able to defeat the cheese. Because cheeses really aren't that hard to beat. All you have to do is scout it. But I didn't do a cheese here. I mean, I kind of did like. I mean, I guess I was on one base for a little while, but I really only attacked with what 4 stalkers while I was on one base, so it wasn't really a one base play. And I ended up having more, more probes than he did throughout the entire match. So, if I had been on one base, I wouldn't have been able to get nearly this many stalkers out. So, but yeah, never just think that that your opponent's a noob. You know, you gotta realize that that maybe something that you did was not exactly correct, and you got to figure out how you can improve. That's why I said that thing at the end there. You keep thinking that your opponent's a noob, then you're never going to get better because you're just going to think, oh, they're just a noob, I can beat him if you played like a straight-up game. Well, I mean, maybe you could, but you should have beat him even though he cheesed you. So, even though I didn't cheese him, but still. But yeah, that was a good match. I enjoyed it, even though he BM'd me a little bit there. Honestly, I think BM's a little bit funny, so I don't mind too much. APM, he had 99, I had 8. Wow, I had a lot more APM than I usually do. Sorry about that, guys. I usually try to keep, if you've watched my previous videos, I usually try to keep the APM, like, you know, in like the 70 or below range, so but I was a lot higher there than usual. That's my bad. I'll try to keep it down in the future for you guys. But he still had more APM, so. Again, 4 things. A good, decent build order. The 2 get expand is a good one in PvP. Scouting. Reacting to your opponent, which obviously my opponent did not do even in the slightest. And that's what lost him this match here. Had he reacted to me better, he would have he probably could have beat me, or he at least could have made it go into a little bit more of a macro game there. And minimap watching. Wasn't a whole lot to watch on the minimap there. There wasn't any drop play or anything, but those are my 4 basic things that I think are far, far more important than APM. So yeah, that was a good match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like the content, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let's check and see if that guy really was. I think he was plat 1. Yep, he was Plat 1, so managed to be a Plat 1 guy, and on the European server, which everyone tells me is much harder than the NA server, so honestly, I don't think there's too much of a difference, but apparently it's harder. But managed to beat a Plat 1 guy, so that's nice. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, we're listening to my buddy Stone Clear here. If you like him, you can check him out on SoundCloud. Just search for his name's Stone Clear. Clear is spelled C-L-E-E-R-E. So if you like his music, go ahead and check him out. I'm sure he'd greatly appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Nordy out.